It's home to the widest waterfalls and the longest mountain range in the world. It's the birthplace of the tango. It's a place where football is a religion. It's home to astonishing and diverse natural landscapes, passionate people, a wealth of resources, and a blend of diverse cultures. It's the farthest country on the planet from China. This is Argentina. Argentina, a country on the other side of the world from China. Going from east or west, the shortest distance between the two is more than 20,000 kilometers. Direct flights are not possible, even with the largest fuel capacity aircraft. This country offers a variety of landscapes, from rainforests and glaciers to deserts and seas. It stretches across a latitude of 3,700 kilometers, allowing for a huge diversity of terrains. At 9,000 kilometers in length, the Andes is the longest mountain range on Earth. Its southern end spans the entire western part of Argentina and is home to boundless scenes of natural beauty. If you want to get to know the real Andes, be sure to have Raimundo as your guide. This 62-year-old man is the only tour guide that is truly familiar with an important period in the country's history, known as the Crossing of the Andes. In 1817, Argentina's liberator, General José de San Martín, led his army across the Andes to win independence for South America.
1980, yo leí todos los libros históricos argentinos e interpreté que San Martín.
Over the past 38 years, Raimundo has taken tens of thousands of tourists on this exact path, experiencing the hardship and glory of that extraordinary period.
Parate.
Today, Raimundo is meeting an old friend.
Hey, Carlos Enrique!
Just like Raimundo, Carlos was born with a passion for the Andes. For the past 30 years, they have always gone to the mountains together at this time of year.
En ese caso, la conexión con la naturaleza es directa, porque hay que extractar en poco tiempo la esencia de la montaña.
Aconcagua, at an altitude of 6,962 meters, the highest peak in South America. Glaciers and strong winds have shaped its unique terrain for tens of thousands of years. In Carlos' eyes, the Andes is the embodiment of freedom. It represents the unique Argentine spirit and is his favorite subject for his canvas. Every time they make a trip into the mountains, they take 6 horses, carrying about half a ton of art supplies. Carlos is no ordinary painter. He specializes in large canvas paintings, which are usually longer than 3 meters, and sometimes as long as 10 meters. A great deal of preparation is needed for his painting. But it's all worth it. This way, Carlos can put on his canvas what he sees as the most authentic Argentina.
Te enfrentas al frío, el viento que te vuela la tela, y todo esto es sumergirte, es distinto que pintar cómodamente en tu taller desde una foto o mirando el paisaje. Te estás metiendo adentro de la naturaleza y necesariamente.
From the magnificent Andes and the mysterious northern forest to the vast lowlands of Pampas and the wild plains and glaciers in southern Patagonia, Carlos has set foot in almost every part of Argentina. Standing in the wilderness, he pours his feelings into his paintings to express his love for this land. Argentina is a young country with a history of just over 200 years. People here live colorful, modern lives. But that doesn't mean that the land is without ancient memories. In Colegio Universitario de San Juan, Ricardo and Martinez and his team are told of new discoveries in Ixigualasto Provincial Park. Martinez is one of the top paleontologists in Argentina. He has dedicated his life to discovering ancient remains in this land. In his mind, Argentina's history is only complete with its ancient heritage. Ixigualasto is a world-famous desert region located in central Argentina. Early complex geological movements resulted in many treasures being left behind. It's the only land on Earth that has fully recorded the formation of Triassic fossils from 200 million years ago.
África todavía estaba unida a lo que hoy conocemos por América, que surcaban ciertos ríos con abundante fauna o animales viviendo en ella. ¿No parece un elefantito echado? El dibujo del sombrero del Principito. Andando en cuatro patas, digamos, arrastrándose en el piso y buscando. Y bueno, una vez que uno encuentra algo, comienza con un pincel. Si determinamos que eso que encontramos es algo interesante o de valor paleontológico, que lo llevamos al laboratorio del museo en la ciudad.
Today is his lucky day. Martinez has made a new discovery.
O sea, un antecesor de los cocodrilos. Este no es un dinosaurio y nos va a llevar 1, 2 o hasta a lo mejor 3 días para poderlo sacar completamente.
It was at this very place in 1996 that Martinez made an astonishing discovery, a new dinosaur species. The dinosaur was later named Eodromius. In 2011, it was declared to be the earliest known dinosaur.
Parte distal de la cola. Porque tenía piernas muy largas, por lo tanto seguro era muy ágil y corría muy rápido.
Life on this ancient land did not disappear in the blink of an eye. They just found different ways to carry on surviving. Martinez is excited about the discovery made in Ixigualasto. For the past 40 years, they've been connecting with ancient times in search of lost memories. This is Argentina, home to the young and the old. Extreme movements in the earth created this ancient wilderness. Piercing winds carve the outline of the rocks and the skyline. But that's not all there is to Argentina's geographical wonders. In the east, the Iguazu River bends into the rainforest, forming some of the most beautiful waterfalls in the world. The falls are 4 kilometers wide and 75 meters high. It's an astonishing piece of scenery that attracts over 2 million tourists each year. In the south, the placid Lake Argentina sits on the southernmost end of the Andes. It's home to countless animals in Patagonia. Crossing the lake brings you to the Perito Moreno Glacier, which has an altitude of only 200 meters. The trail above it is less than 1 kilometer long, but gives you a complete view of this natural wonder.
En realidad dura varios días, pero el momento culmine, lo que todos quieren ver es la caída de ese arco.
No one knows this place better than Bernardo. In his opinion, the 200,000-year-old Perito Moreno Glacier is still quite young compared with other glaciers. It's unique in that it grows at a rate of 30 centimeters per day, while others are rapidly melting.
Pienso que, bueno, por un lado son estructuras, es como una obra de arte cambiante. Cada año o cada mes subís al glaciar.
But continuous efforts must be made to maintain the glacier's vitality. In addition to being a guide, Bernardo has another important job.
Podemos perforar, vamos a tratar de perforar unos 8 metros más o menos.
For 28 consecutive years, Bernardo has recorded the changes in the glaciers in order to help scientists study the growth of the glacier under the effect of global warming. Argentina's charm goes far beyond this. 1,000 kilometers northeast from here, the hammer-shaped Valdes Peninsula extends into the Atlantic Ocean. It's home to an abundance of wildlife and is considered by many to be a haven on Earth. Here, warm currents from Brazil meet the cold Malvinas currents. It provides plentiful food sources for sea creatures and serves as a habitat for seals and sea lions. This leeward side beach under the cliff is one example. The warm winter sunshine makes this place the perfect resort for these animals. But at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the tide-driven icy waves start lapping against the sea lions, posing a dilemma: go into the ocean or get away from the shore. The Valdes Peninsula shore is the best spot in South America to observe whales up close. 61-year-old Benigno is the most experienced local marine mammal observation guide here. 40 years' experience has made him good friends with these giant mammals.
Mi primer contacto con una ballena fue una emoción muy grande. Ya no me cabe la más mínima duda que fue el lugar óptimo elegido para desarrollar mi vida.
Benigno always parks his vessel at a distance to avoid startling the whales. Around 2,000 adult southern right whales come to these warm waters in May and June every year to escape the cold waters of the Antarctic and give birth.
Lo que más se ve son madres con cría. Estas madres con cría están en un momento muy especial, el cachorro nace, la madre lo amamanta en ese periodo y vemos gran cantidad de comportamientos vinculados a la crianza.
Adult southern right whales can grow over 18 meters long. They have distinctive finless backs and arched mouths. But their most obvious feature are the calluses on their heads, formed by large colonies of whale lice. In this sea area, where food is plentiful, the whales can live for up to 60 years. Through years of observation, Benigno can clearly understand what messages the whales are trying to send through every single action.
Ese salto está íntimamente ligado con el llamado a la cría. El mar no es un ambiente silencioso, focaliza y de esa manera por eso la madre puede conectarse con el cachorro porque ellos focalizan estos sonidos, independientemente del mismo sonido que hasta ese momento estaba ocurriendo ahí.
Everything about the whales is closely monitored, and the data is carefully collected. There were 710 whale calves born in this area in 2018. After 6 months of suckling, whale calves will begin their exploration of the sea world with their mothers in spring, spend their summer in Antarctic waters, and return here the next winter.
Tenemos la suerte, el orgullo de sentir de que la fauna silvestre acepta nuestra presencia en el mar y esto nos sentimos cómodos con ellos, no hay ningún tipo de agresividad, los animales realmente estamos en una armonía con ellos.
Over a decade ago, Lino Adelon bought an old house and began pursuing his culinary dream. This is the southernmost point of Argentina, Ushuaia, known as the end of the world. It is the southernmost city on the planet, surrounded on 3 sides by mountains and facing Antarctica on the other. Its unique sea environment has created an abundance of natural resources. Lino's restaurant mainly serves seafood, specializing in king crabs. But not every customer is lucky enough to be able to taste it.
En marzo, abril, mayo y junio, cuando las hembras están con mayor cantidad de huevos encima para no molestarla, donde hay mucho movimiento de agua y el agua y hay mucha, o sea que van a estar bien, ahí me deja reservada unas 20 más para la semana.
In Ushuaia, fishing for king crabs is strictly regulated. Only licensed vessels are allowed to fish within designated areas. For more than a decade, Lino has always gone to sea with these vessels. Fermented cod is king crab's favorite food. The crab traps are dropped to a depth of 50 meters. The next thing to do is to wait. The seawater in the Beagle Channel is rich in nutritional salt, providing king crabs with an excellent living environment. Only an experienced captain knows the secrets of where the best fishing sites are. It's time to pull up the trap. It seems to be Lino's lucky day. These goods from the end of the world are his biggest catch today.
Esta es buena, good. Es muy buena. Vamos adentro. Chao. La manera de garantizarnos la continuidad, o sea, que se reproductores, y si la cáscara es la que el caparazón mide menos de 12 centímetros, también hay que devolverlo. O sea, las pequeñas.
A sense of ritual is essential when cooking king crabs. Lino has his own tricks to preserve the crab's delicate taste.
Siempre recomiendo que sea lo más natural posible. El agua que hay acá, que no la hay en otra parte de Argentina ni del mundo. Con el agua esa, el agua buena, el animal va a vivir mucho más tiempo y va a estar más relajado, no va a estar estresado.
For Lino, the right hairstyle is essential for cooking king crabs properly. There are many ways of cooking king crabs. Felino only uses the classic method. 100 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes, and you have a crab served with the most authentic taste.
Esta carne es más suave, no hay más rica, es la mejor, the best.
In Ushuaia, this seafood adds color to Argentines' eating experience. But even more importantly, this quiet little town enriches the world's understanding of the Earth. It's 3,200 kilometers away from Buenos Aires, but only 800 kilometers from Antarctica. Its unique geographical location makes it an important stop en route to the Antarctic. Gustavo Lescano is one of Argentina's managers responsible for the Antarctica education program. He's preparing for his 8th trip to Antarctica. Argentines are very family-oriented people. Regulations state that all expedition members who travel to Antarctica have to be accompanied by their families. In 1978, Argentina built number 38 school in Antarctica, providing education for children living in the polar region.
Bien, vamos a embarcar en el C-130, el avión Hércules de la Fuerza Aérea Argentina, rumbo a Marambio.
All supplies in Antarctica come from the outside world. It's winter at the moment, and the glaciers haven't melted, so supplies can only be brought by Hercules transport aircraft.
Vamos a dejar toda la carga que trajimos y algunos componentes más dentro del programa de acompañamiento y fortalecimiento a las bases Antártica, Argentina y Fueguina.
After the one-hour journey, the aircraft lands at the Argentinian Research Station in Antarctica. "20 countries have built more than 150 research stations on this white continent. Due to its geographical position, Ushuaia has become the supply base and transport camp for countries all over the world, helping scientists to set foot on this icy continent and allowing mankind to go further on the road to the peaceful exploration of the polar region." Memories on the high mountains continue to be made. Ancient underground lives continue to be discovered. Young glaciers are still growing. Life in the ocean bursts with vitality. Argentina, a faraway country where nature brings it closer to the rest of the world. People from different cultural backgrounds gather here. Together, they form the beautiful and colorful Argentina. Please join us for part 2 of Glamorous Argentina.